Why not? It's too late. You was.
You can edit me out. My arm. I don't mind my arm.
You want the other half of the splash pan?
What?
Do you want the other half?
This
of it?
one
Just
was
one?
not
Okay. Oh, it's not
fitting.
very good?
It's not fitting. Yeah, that's okay. I use a very little water, so you can see how much water I got it on there. But it would be nice to have some
It's not
the splash pan that is very sturdy, because usually I brace my arm quite hard on the splash pan. Yeah.
Yes.
Right up there.
In oxidation? Yeah, in oxidation. I've never put it in oxidation.
Okay, for the she request, but everybody agreed. The teapot, non-functional teapot. That teapot is non-functional. So basically, you are going to throw the vase like that and close it, and then you flatten it. You squeeze it, make it into a oval shape, and then the spout was added on that lid. Actually, the lid won't be able to open it. I just draw a line there.
Oh.
It's non-functional. Non-functional teapot. It's just for the idea of a teapot without the function. Yeah. And this is B-mix. You see that my thumb is doing the job by pulling the skin down, and then use my right hand to guide it here.
Shin, when I try to squeeze the clay with my fingers,
Mhm.
I usually end up like making deep groove.
That means you move your finger too fast. Yeah, and also this hand is also pushing. Not only I'm using my right thumb to do that, this hand is smoothing it. See that when you are using the thumb, you have the groove, right? But the right hand is squeezing. So no matter how big your clay, I'm just working on the outer part. It will save you a lot of energy by you try to squeeze and then I'm pushing back down. That's a lot of force to do that.
One more question, Shin.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because I'm new to this, but sometimes when I open, I have like uneven surface.
Uneven surface where?
In the middle.
Inside?
Yeah, inside.
Uh-huh.
Or I would get like, twist.
Twist?
Yeah.
Inside?
I feel the twist. So sometimes I would just like, when I wedge the clay, the twisty side, sometimes I keep it up.
Mm-hmm.
When I do that, then I don't get the twist in the middle. But
You
if
mean
I-
inside the bottom?
Yeah.
You get a
inside the
twist?
bottom. Yeah. If I just go the twist side down,
Mm-hmm.
I end up with a twist in the clay, in the clay body. So, and I end up using a lot of energy to keep it centered.
Okay. I don't know how how it happened that you will have a twist. So usually I take it all the way to about half an inch, and then open up the floor using my using my finger to pinch it with my thumb holding on the outside and then pinch it. Since the teapot we were talking about, you are going to squeeze it. So you don't want to make your base too wide, make the base smaller. So when you squeeze it, you foam it, it's not becoming too much of the stretch. Smaller base, smaller base. So I know, probably know what you mean of a twist. It's when you color, right? When you color and the inside gets a wrinkle, right? Yeah. When I color, I get that too. So you have to go there and compress it. After you color, the inside gets a little bit of like a wrinkles there, right? You go there and compress it. That's when you color at a very fast speed. You have that problem. You have that, yeah. So you have to go back there and compress it.
So Hsin, before you even pull, you color. After you open, you color. And then
After I open, I color. There are a couple ways to open your hole. You could do high open or low open. If you do low open, then you have to color so that your wall will be, your cylinder will be narrow, which will be easier for you to pour it taller.
Yeah.
I usually pour my cylinder when the cylinder is smaller. It's a lot easier for me to pour it up taller. If it's very wide, it's very hard to pour it.
And then it gives you more
Yeah.
flexibility.
I also by color your clay up, you make it taller. You color, make it taller, and you pour. You thin it down, and then you color again. So that's how you can move your cylinder higher, much faster and more efficient. I usually pour the corner in further. I don't like to have so much clay there wasting it. So I just pinch it and then move the clay in.
So but for a larger piece, how much do you need for support down there?
Well, but if you leave it thicker, it doesn't matter, even it's narrower.
It's just more.
Yeah. Usually, you will automatically have your clay thicker there. You see that when I'm color, where's my left hand? Support, right? Support. I already tried to throw the foam. You can see that I didn't pour it straight. I already pushed out the foam. Right, I want to keep the foam, so I'm not going to keep on pouring it taller. So now I'm going to just shape it. And you see me toss a lot of the slip inside, right? So I keep on grabbing. Actually, there's nothing there left on the inside. So that is the beauty of using slip instead of water. And you can see that my splash pan is still dry. Didn't even have a drip of water coming to the edge of my bed. Now I'm ready to close it. This finger, hold it on the top and then just squeeze it. So you control your rim.
So how thick is that rim compared to where the shoulder is?
It's a little bit thicker because I want to have a little bit more clay for me to close it. But when I'm closing it in, it's thicker. But then you see that I'm coming back there and kind of pour it thinner. Before I close further, do my final shaping. Just open it wide enough for my arm to go in there. And now is the last chance to see the curve.
fingers relative to the. Yeah, so they're at the top of it.
Right here. So the clay is in between.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find out how high up.
How high up?
Yeah.
No, it's not high up.
Yeah.
When you pour, the inside hand is high up on the outside, but when you're shaping, you have to push the wall against the rib. So it's not higher, it's the same. So when I'm checking the shape, usually I have my one eye closed and then just go look at the curve further. Okay, I'm not looking at my hand. Just look at further. See that the shadow or the contour or the profile is nicely done or not. If not, I could go back there and then do it again. Just check here, maybe this part needs to come out a little bit, so I will go back there and then push out a little bit. Okay, so that is for the profile. Try to close it. So what I'm doing is put my finger underneath and then the thumb pull that way with my right finger helping to stabilize it. Right? Not enough, that's okay. We can squeeze more clay from here. I pick up more clay from there. The curve is not following through, so I will come back here and make sure this curve following through. Right, pinch and lift, move it toward the center. Here, squeeze a bit. Right. Come back to follow through. Okay. That is the basic shape for the teapot body. You could trim, like I say, that you want a base to be a little bit smaller. So when you are squeezing it, you are not moving the whole lot of the clay. I need maybe 2 large balls so I could make it flat. Yeah, if we have a larger bat would be easier, but
Oh, that?
the ball is
Those are too
probably-
big. You want something like this?
Yeah, probably like this size.
Like this?
Okay,
Is that too small?
You want just a bat?
just bat. Yeah,
Large
bat.
There we
Yeah,
go.
bat.
Large
The large bats,
Yeah,
maybe?
if we have a 14 inches wooden bat, wooden one, yeah, wooden one.
When you've got a closed piece like this, do you usually poke a hole in it?
I will do later, but now I wanted the ear to be trapeze size.
2 different sizes.
Yeah, okay, good.
What's the benefit of the air being inside?
That the foam stay there better. If you release it, sometimes you can release slightly, but not too deep. And also the surface, you could if you have too much of the slip, you could use a torch to dry it a little bit. This really doesn't matter that much because later you are going to use the same way, use the shovel to make your shape, to get the surface a little bit better.
That's scary.
Yeah, I'm keeping the foam, and then now I could poke a hole here, slightly release the air. Not open yet. Can I borrow a needle? Yeah, needle is. All right. Okay, so I can feel the air is coming out. Yeah, so you don't cut the bottom, so your piece will be sticking on the bat.
So now you're closing up.
I'm closing up because I am going to just use my free hand to form it a bit better.
Are you going for an even shape on both sides?
Well, I am going to pinch on the other side for pretending that is the handle. If you look at my piece. And here slightly bumper, you can use the paddle to paddle it in. Right here, both ends. Right, so that.
Would you use the paddle at this stage?
I wouldn't. I would wait it a little bit, firm up a little bit. Yeah, paddle you want to, otherwise the whole piece you are shaking it.
Now you're drawing the lid.
I'm drawing the lid. Yeah. So that is the lid. Okay. Okay, so this part here is going to be the spout, and here is the handle. Okay. I don't have handle, so I'm going to make a handle right now. Right. Handle. That is the handle. And then throw the spout and you can attach. Maybe throw the spout. So for making the spout, you are going to throw a small bottle like that, and then total neck, small bottle, total neck. So for things that is little, you can slightly speed up the wheel. And spin the wheel a little bit faster. Open place. And you also need to compare the size of your body. Make sure your spout is not too big or not too small. usually have a popsicle stick to push that against the wall and then I try to fan it down, but I don't have it here. So I just grab whatever tool I can find.
Do you want to use this one?
That's okay. It's just for demo, so and I'm not going to keep this piece. It's okay. Usually I would use a torch to heat it up a little bit, dry the surface. So when I am foaming it, it doesn't have a lot of finger marks.
So Shen, you are throwing it for demo, but do we have to wait in between any of the steps till we go to the next step?
Yeah, this you have to attach it later when it's at the hot stage. So you will need to prepare your spout. This spout looks a little bit big. So the tip of the spout a little bit big. But I already cut it. It's all right. Right. So you pick it up, and then usually I use a hair dryer or heat gun or torch to torch it, so that surface is not sticky. And then I will find some spot that is higher point and start to bend it down, okay, foam it.
Is the bottom hollow or is there a base? Okay.
The bottom is hollow. So you
Able to do that on
bended it. Okay, that's usually the spout of a teapot needs to have slightly curved. You don't want to make it too straight, because when you pour, if you make it straight, the water is easy to drip down. Slightly curved. So when the tea goes there, there's the force to push it into a curved shape. And also when you pour it, is that when the water or the liquid coming out from here, it's harder for the liquid to climb back up here. So it will stop right there. When you feel it, that spout will stop right there. So usually I like to bend my spout into a little curve. And here, try to find the center. You are going to trim, chop this part off. And you can see that this part here is fairly thick, right? Thick. That's okay. Go back there and pinch it. And you want to do it when it's a little bit harder. Okay. Now I'm just doing the demonstration, so it's still a little bit wet to do that. Otherwise, I want to have a lot of finger mark from the pinch it, forming into a better shape. you do this on the hard stage, will be much easier. Much easier. And you can even slice it, right? Use a knife there and you cut it. If that spot is a little bit too thick, you could cut it, right? Okay, bring it back on the spout, right, like that. Only slightly pinch it so it's fitting on that. You could shave it, shave it too. So when you are attaching that, every spot is very tightly fit. Really tight fit. Not quite symmetrical. So usually that this we call, for the teapot, we call 3-point. The spout, the lid, and the handle should sort of on the same level, okay, forming a straight line. That is not only for the function but also for look. For the look. Just to show you the whole process. Usually I don't attach it now, but just to. This is for like a workshop style demonstration that you cannot wait. You have to do it in a couple hours. You could torture it, yeah, torture it. Okay.
And for the handle holes, would you like close those up? Or would you
It really doesn't matter.
no?
You could, if you wanted to, you could seal it, but this is just for the look because the lid won't open. Yeah. And I would probably open a hole there from the spout, cut a hole, because when you're glazing, you want to have a glaze inside too, so it strings more evenly. String evenly is very important. If you have only one coat of a glaze outside and no glaze inside, you're taking the risk. Sometimes the glaze, if the glaze is very strong, it might crack your body. So if you have a glaze on both sides, it helps shrink more evenly.
If it's just for display, could you just cut a hole in the bottom and pour the glaze in?
Yeah, you could do that too. Yeah, cut a hole. Yeah. Usually I just pour the glaze from there and pour it out from the spout. Yeah. Okay. So that is the demonstration, and you have a wire. You can cut it up to see that the base will be still a bit thicker. Well, it's a learning process, so it's fine, right? So that is the wall, right? And like I told you, that the base I leave it thicker so you can shape it, so the base will be lighter. when the base smaller, the whole piece looks like it. So you can shape. Yeah, use the short form, but it's not a circular shape, so you won't be able to turn it on the wheel. So you have to use the short form to do that. You see that I did the base. See that this base fairly small, so I have lots of plate to remove. So the base, you can turn it slightly into an oval shape too. It's a circle, but you can shape it so it's slightly follow the curve of your oval teapot. Okay? All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Between the square and the circle, it's just preference.
This one basically I was planning to, if the studio like here in the class, when they throw, that takes a lot of room on the shelf. So this is called space saver, especially for beginner. When you have a class, everybody have one, and then after they're done, you see that you save a lot of extra space from there.
Okay.
But for yourself, I would say either 12 inches or 14 inches would be better.
Okay, but the shape doesn't.
The shape doesn't, yeah, it's only the working area that if you are making something wider, like making a plate, you need to have a wider. But mostly people, yeah, oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, so people, basically the base is not going to be very big.
Yeah.
Even you throw a base, that area should be big enough.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you are making a platter or plate, then you need to have a wider base to support it.